It's worrying when the first thing Jim Jam's thinking about when we're talking about football is squeezing...
Touching and squeezing somebody else's nuts.
Yeah.
Mad, isn't
I
it?
didn't start off thinking that. It's how it ended up.
You just moved on to it.
Yeah.
Do you know how sometimes that like we fuck up and I go, I'll use that as the start, fuck it.
I mean, in all fairness, you started with the inappropriate touching by insinuating
It's the way it was your inflection used.
So
You get a booking for
that was you.
touching.
Dear God.
Should we move on from touching?
Can we stop touching each other? Right, on that, shall we touch on the Champions League?
Hello and welcome to episode 78 of the Sunday League Pundit Show. You have myself, Stretch, my very good friend on camera pissing about with his phone, Jim Jam, and my very good friend off camera, Tin
I have
Ribs.
stats, dickhead.
How?
That's why I
didn't
need
say
this.
you didn't. I just said you were pissing about with your phone.
Oh, okay.
How are we, gentlemen?
All right.
Yeah, good.
Good.
Yeah.
I bet you're all right, but we'll talk about the football in a bit. Right, so do we have a Jim Jam, the stat man stat? I'm assuming you do, as you were kicking
Yeah,
off
I
a
based
second
it on
ago.
kind of 100. So, like,
Okay.
the interesting part, because obviously Matt got their 100 points, which is now
And?
103.
They got 100 points and 100 goals.
100 goals. And so there's a few teams that can obviously get 100 points this season. It looks pretty certain that Birmingham are going to be one of them points. But then there's only two other teams that can at the moment, one being Burnley and one being Leeds. But then I went into yellow cards. So I was like, and I just saw something, I was like, Dirty Portsmouth on 110 yellow cards for the season. I thought, that's a lot of yellow cards there. So then I was like, okay, who else has got 100 yellow cards? And I was like, okay, Bolton have got 100 yellow cards. Stoke have got 100 yellow cards. Preston have got 100 yellow cards. But the worst team, Accrington Stanley, 125 yellow cards this season.
125, that's a lot. Isn't it?
I know, it does
What have they
seem a
played?
lot.
38 games, 39 games?
Yeah. And then in that league, you've got Carlisle, Bradford and Salford that have got over 100 yellow cards as well. I just thought...
That's a rough league, that, isn't
But
it?
then you do get a lot of bookings for pointless stuff nowadays, because obviously the game's a lot softer. Because
A lot
obviously you used to
softer.
be able to tackle before.
Yeah, that's
You get
gone now.
booked for touching. No.
I mean, the way you've put it makes it sound bad. I think you should get booked for that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you hear the inflection he used then when he said you get booked for touching?
I'm not going to lie, I'm currently like
Did you see?
reverting back to
Did Gaza get booked?
traumatised child.
Did Gaza get... or was it Vinnie Jones? Vinnie Jones, he didn't get booked for squeezing nuts.
I think I was crushing
Is that the
more
place
than
to
squeezing, but
play
yeah.
the music and move on now? Gaza's nuts being squeezed.
Play the music.
It's worrying when the first thing Jim Jam's thinking about when we're talking about football is squeezing...
Touching and squeezing somebody else's nuts.
Yeah.
Mad, isn't
I
it?
didn't start off thinking that. It's how it ended
You
up.
just moved on to it.
Yeah.
Do you know how sometimes that like we fuck up and I go, I'll use that as the start, fuck it.
I mean, in all fairness, you started with the inappropriate touching by insinuating
It's the way it was your inflection used.
So
You get a booking for
that was you.
touching.
Dear God.
Should we move on from touching?
Can we stop touching each other? Right, on that, shall we touch on the Champions League?
That was
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah.
We'll touch on the Champions League because
Can we stop touching
Arteta and friends
completely?
are still going.
Oh, let's go to the actual intro. Hello and welcome to episode 78 of this absolute shambles. Yes, we will go to. Fuck me, boys. We will go to the.
We were
Champions
moving
League
on.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
we're moving
We
away.
were moving on. Stop saying stuff like that.
Oh, good grief. Monday, Bournemouth 1, Fulham 0 in the Premier League. Goal in the first minute. What a boring game after that.
Yep.
So, yeah, not a lot to talk about there. Tuesday, you got Villa. Villa beat PSG.
It was a good game, actually. I enjoyed watching
They
it.
were unfortunate.
They were.
They You say they were unfortunate, but honestly, I think it was their own fault for going 2-0 down.
I think they made a
Had
mistake
they played
with
in
the
their first half the
substitutions
same
as
way
well.
they did in the second,
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
they'd have stood a chance. But that gives you hope that PSG can be
But
smashed.
what I mean is, it's like Villa put up a very good fight.
Oh yeah, they come out flying in the
Yeah.
second half.
Absolutely.
Mm.
I think the result was fair overall. I think Villa were the better team at Villa Park,
Yeah, I'd agree.
but I think over the two legs, PSG were the better team.
Mm.
I think it's a fair result. It's a good reflection on how that two-legged affair went. It's, you're not looking at one saying it's like, oh, the best team went out. I think the better team went through, but I think the results were a fair and quite accurate appraisal of the overall.
I think deep down they should have kept Marcus Rashford on the pitch when you're chasing a game, considering how well he was playing at the time.
He's doing well now, though, at Villa anyway, isn't he? So it's
Yeah.
not even just that game. He's generally a better
I
footballer
thought
than he
with
has been. So
Villa
why would you take
needing
him
a
off?
goal, I
When
think he
somebody's
made a mistake.
in form and clearly showing that he wants to fight and wants to do well, why wouldn't you just leave him on? Because there is that chance that Rashford's going to do something special.
Like, I know Rodgers is having a
'cause we
good
know it can
season and
happen.
stuff, but he wasn't playing his best game at the time. So I felt that keeping Rashford on, who was doing everything, whether or not because he was doing everything and playing too well, maybe he was tired and he needed to come off. But I think with the way the game was going and you needing a goal, I think deep down it was the wrong substitution.
Yeah, possibly, but that's why we don't get paid big bucks to make the big decisions, because obviously we don't know best. But yeah, I would have seen it as I'd have seen it the same way you did. Barcelona got pumped 3-1 and still went through because of their ridiculous win in the first leg.
Yeah.
And then we have Wednesday. So we'll start with.
Did you know that's the first time Szczesny's lost at Barcelona?
Is it actually?
Pretty sure I read that stat, yeah.
Alright.
That's a stat and a half. That is. Anyway,
So, on the Wednesday, I'm not going to lie, I didn't watch the Arsenal game. I watched the Newcastle Crystal Palace game.
well, I was going to start there
And
actually.
I have no regrets. That was a great game to watch.
5-0.
It was a great game.
I mean, that's a pumping, that,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I have to say, I had to watch the Newcastle Palace game as
You
well.
both. Fuck. You know we do this podcast, and you know full well that one of us is an Arsenal fan, and you've both nailed me to the wall there.
I don't have TNT Sports.
That's the other reason I removed TNT Sports recently.
It's too expensive.
And I was just like,
What was it Tim said about 8 months ago? All Amir and his excuses, boys.
Yeah, I know.
All
Well,
Amir and his
I
Still watch
excuses.
football though.
Yeah, and I think watching a 5-0 game is much better than watching a 2-1 game.
Well, that's because neither of you know what the Champions League's all about. So I'm just saying.
Well, we
Just
did.
saying.
About
I was
20
going to
years ago.
say he did.
I did.
It's in our lifetime. Leeds are in there.
Yeah.
We've been in
think
the
he remembers
we've been
all
in the
that
Champions
time
League
ago?
places.
He can't remember what we did yesterday.
Stretch. I remember Leeds lifting the First Division trophy.
He doesn't. He's got it on VHS. Right, the Newcastle, the Newcastle game. I mean, to be fair, it was a great game,
Oh, it was fantastic.
and Newcastle were phenomenal. Like, I've seen extended highlights. I haven't obviously seen the game because I was watching Arsenal, but
It was quite.
from what I saw, damn, Newcastle were good.
I mean,
Like,
once it got
really
to 5-0, it was like, okay, that's enough now. We'll
Stop.
take it easy.
He's had
Stop
enough.
killing
He's
him.
had enough. Just leave him
killing me.
alone. Yeah,
He's
I mean,
already dead.
honestly, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
It was one of them that could have been 10
Oh, it's painful.
because Newcastle even just highlights that could have been 10.
Some of these teams need to like stop doing this and actually put 10 past somebody.
Yeah, because
so
you don't want to be the one with the worst record ever
What,
with
just
2
the-
9-0s or
Yeah.
3 9-0s or whatever it is.
2
you've got now.
9-0s.
Yeah. Oh.
There's other teams with 9-0s, but
There were Ipswich were the first, I believe, with Man United, but
No, it was 9-1, I think.
9-0.
Wasn't it?
When Andy Cole scored 4 or 5 or whatever it was in that game.
I thought it was-
it was
like
like an
8-1 or
Ips.
9-0,
No.
because that was the biggest result ever until
Yeah.
other teams started losing 9-0. Now it's jointly the biggest.
We've lost 9-0 at home and away.
Well, you said that with so much pride. It was
Home and
ridiculous.
away.
We've done it
Home
home
and
and away.
2 seasons in a row, and the manager didn't lose his job both times.
You know what though?
All of that was said with way too much pride.
I'm going to say one thing, right? I know yesterday I was absolutely devastated when Southampton got the equaliser to become joint worst Premier League team of all time, rather than the worst. But the fact that they've been relegated quicker than any other team ever, the only team to have done 2 seasons in a row, home and away 9-0, I think we can officially say that Southampton possibly are the worst Premier League team of all time.
Well, no.
See, I was quite happy when you got that equaliser.
Yeah.
I celebrate your equaliser
Yeah.
because I want you to have minimum of 12 points.
Yeah.
At least, just so you're not the bottom. He, however, he was living in glory land until the equaliser.
Yeah.
At which point, I genuinely think I saw a tear escape from his eye.
Good.
They don't
Even
deserve
better.
to be there.
But yeah, anyway, so yeah, we had Inter 2, Bayern 2, so Inter went through. Quite happy because I don't like Bayern. I think Kane's a bell and Dyer because, well, they're ex-Tottenham. So I'm glad to see them go.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Real Madrid. I will sum it up by saying Arsenal were good. Real Madrid were poor.
I think Real Madrid's tactic of closing the roof did nothing.
I don't think it matters whether the fucking roof's open or closed.
And
You're
they
playing-
lost every time they've closed the roof.
Yeah, but you're playing football. Who cares whether you're indoors or
It's the
outdoors?
sound, it's the atmosphere. It's supposed to
Yeah,
create
but
a more-
what I'm saying is, it shouldn't matter to you as a footballer whether you're playing outside on AstroTurf or inside on grass. It doesn't matter. Football's football. Think about what you're fucking doing. Stop worrying about what's around you. Think about the game. Think about your next pass. Think about your next interception. These players that are like, oh, I need it like this. I need it like, fuck off then. Go do something that doesn't need concentration. Just focus on what you're doing.
Okay, talk
Real-
about the 2 penalties then.
Neither were a
Decisions.
penalty.
Yeah.
Bukayo Saka missing the penalty was poetic justice.
Yeah.
And Mbappe should have been booked for diving.
Yeah.
And as simple as that. Neither one were a penalty.
At least you can't say that the referee was on Real Madrid's side.
I think he was slightly biased against them because some decisions we were getting we should not have got.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't blatantly obvious. They were close to 50-50, but you still thought, I don't think I'd have given that. And then there was a free kick given, and you're like, oh, that was a bit fucking soft, that was.
Yeah.
Or Real Madrid would have something go against them, and you just think, that was a bit soft as well, really. Or, when you get a 50-50 corner or throw-in, where they've both gone in, you're not quite sure. It always went Arsenal's way.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know if every single one is going our way. Like, so
Maybe
don't get me wrong, I'm
bitched
not
and moaned a bit too much, so before we better give them
possibly. But I will say they've gone through, and I'm happy they've gone through. But I'm still concerned about the length of contract Arteta's going to get. I'm still concerned. I'm still concerned about the length of contract Arteta's going to get if he does manage to surprise everyone.
But
and go
the
through
best
and win
thing
it.
is, we are going to get that Arteta and friends moment at this rate.
Oh God,
I love it. I love it.
I want to cry.
I sound like Kevin Keegan now. I absolutely
I
love
love
it.
it.
If that
Fucking
happens.
Arteta stays there till he's dead. I love it. Yeah, I just don't like him as a manager. Anyway, Thursday, Tottenham went through 1-0 against Frankfurt.
Yeah.
So flying the flag for the
Rangers
English
went
in
out.
a competition that, quite frankly, we don't care about. Let's be honest.
Well, Rangers went out to Athletic Club.
United went through. Bodo Glimt went through against Lazio. That was a decent result.
I have seen the game of Man United Leon.
That was insanity.
It was
That was
brilliant.
insane. It was insane. It was absolutely crazy. What happened? What was going on in that game?
It's just. I
So
mean,
for
obviously,
those that don't know, I
Onana-
imagine most people will know, but the goals were scored in the following minutes. We had United 10 minutes, Ugarte. We
Dalot.
then had nothing till Dallo in the 45th minute and a minute
So
added on.
2-0, you're thinking.
So 2-0 half
comfortable.
time, you're thinking, decent game, maybe Leon will come back into it. So you got Leon, 71st minute,
Yeah.
Tolisso.
Yeah.
Then the 78th minute, Tagliafico,
Yeah.
something like that. So it's 2-2 at full time. You think United have spooned this? They've thrown it away.
And then there was a couple chances missed
Now-
as well for both teams.
Yeah. Either
right
team
at
could
the
have won
end.
it before the end. Then you go into extra time, and you've got Cherky scoring in the 105th minute. Then you've got Lacazette in the 110th minute, and you think,
And you
Leon
think,
are
that's
through.
it, that's
That's it. We're done. 4-2. We're done. Over. 114th
Man
minute,
United
Fernandes get a penalty.
Which it was a penalty.
To be fair, it
And
was
it-
a
And
definite
it was
pen.
a VAR moment as well.
Shouldn't have been. Should have just been a pen.
Yeah.
But we'll give
They
it.
didn't
We'll give
see
them
it.
the benefit of the doubt. Went to VAR. They gave the pen rightly. So
Then it's attacking
Fernandes put it
pressing.
away. Then they keep going and going and going, and in the 120th minute,
Mainu, good finish. He picks the
Decent
ball
goal.
up and he curls it in.
Decent goal.
And you
And
think,
then-
okay, penalties.
and then you're like,
And then all of a
got
sudden,
penalty
it's
shootout
like
to look
straight
for.
away.
They just
go on
grab
the
the ball
attack.
back, throw themselves forward.
And Harry Maguire's just
Harry
stood
Maguire.
in the furthest man up the pitch.
Harry Maguire.
But he does that in games, doesn't he? So he literally, when United are chasing a game, Harry Maguire is the furthest player up the pitch. And what do? You pump balls into the box. Because he's
And let's
probably
face it,
one
he's
of
not
the
bad
better.
with his head.
Not at all.
He's a good header
and
of
what
a
a
ball.
finish. And to be fair, the commentary's quite brilliant. I think it was quite suitable that Rio Ferdinand and Robbie Savage were on commentary for that one with, I think it was Ali McCoist as well.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's a pretty good combination. I quite like that combination together,
agree.
especially for the win. I thought, you know what, they really got into it. Because
Yeah,
I think Savage was United once, wasn't he? There's something about it that
I believe so. His son plays for him as well. His son is currently at Man United, I believe. I think he's on loan, but his parent club is Man United, as far as I'm aware. Right, then we get to Friday. We had Oxford versus Leeds. Now, I went to football, so I missed the first 28 minutes, 27 minutes. I then came back and sat and watched it.
I take it you're going backwards then, because that was the last game of Friday.
Yeah, it's because it's the first one
Yeah.
that shows up because
On
I'm
the
following
screen.
Leeds.
Yeah.
So Leeds beat Oxford 1-0. There's been a lot. Tin Ribs, am I right in thinking there's been a lot of hassle about the referee?
So, 1 second.
He's coming back now.
So
People wouldn't know that he left, but he did leave.
Yeah, I did leave. I was just in the
You do doesn't talk very often, so they're not going to know anyway.
So Gary Rowett apparently went into the referee's changing room at the end to complain. Now, when he was complaining, he wasn't saying that the result was unfair. He wasn't saying that the decisions cost them the game. What he was saying was a lot of the sort of, you know how you were saying with the Real Madrid game, little 50-50s, things that could go each
Or
way.
went to Arsenal.
Yeah, he was accusing that all those decisions went in our favour.
I would like to say as a neutral at this point because I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit who wins that game. I'm not bothered. Like if you win, great, you're happy. If you lose, great. I get to take the piss out of you. So either way, I'm onto a winner during that game. I genuinely watched, albeit only the last hour because I missed the first half hour. I thought that was actually officiated pretty well. I didn't really see any problems during that game at all. There may have been the odd one or two that you think, oh, could have been either way. But I didn't look at anything during that game, 10, the Oxford Leeds, and think, that was bad.
Yeah.
I don't remember looking at anything thinking that.
Well, you've got to be happier for tomorrow's game because Stoke now look safe with they got a good win on Friday. I mean, did you see their goal, their second goal?
Yeah, and we were going to bring this up because what makes me laugh is people are going, oh, it's the keeper's error. Now,
It is the keeper's error because
no, it's not.
because Wilmot, a turnaround was facing the other
And
direction.
jumped. And jumped. If he doesn't jump, I'm all for error on the keeper's behalf. He jumped. He deliberately put himself into the flight of the ball. He raised himself by a good 1.5 foot by jumping. That is infringement.
He wasn't looking. He was going the other direction, other way, away from a pitch. He wasn't heading towards the keeper, jumping towards the keeper. I think if he's jumping towards the keeper to block it, absolutely. But the fact that he turned was
So
going
what
the
you're
other
saying
way.
is
And
when a free
I'm
kick's
gonna do the-
taken and the people jump, they're not doing it to infringe at all.
You're allowed to jump on a free kick.
But you're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to encroach. So he wasn't encroaching.
He did. He blocked line of.
He wasn't encroaching. He was going the other direction. He was moving away from the keeper.
He literally jumps into the ball.
He moved away from the keeper.
He jumps into the ball.
I'm just here for the comments.
I know you are.
Keeper fucked up.
No.
End of the story.
He jumped, so it should be raised. Just like if you want to go on to keeper fucking up, Ramsdale yesterday dropped the ball into his own net. He was barely touched.
I disagree.
It was a legitimate goal, ruled out.
Disagree. Ramsdale's a hero.
Shut up.
But no, I'm going with he was going the other direction. I think he's more than
Why did he jump?
worthy to jump.
You don't just walk away and go, oh, I'm just running, you're going to jump. I just fancy jumping.
Why not? He might have just been happy.
The keeper caught the ball, I'm just going to jump.
No, I think because he's going the other way, I'm all for it. He wasn't encroaching. If you encroach, fine. Yeah, you can't go towards the keeper and jump.
To block the ball. He's encroaching.
How would you know if he wasn't looking?
It's the fact that it's so fierce over a game neither of you give a shit about.
I know.
That's the best bit
I know.
about it. I love it. Carry on.
I've just decided that he's wrong, I'm right.
He's decided the exact opposite as it happens.
As it happens.
Again, if he hadn't jumped, I'd be all for it. I'd be like, yep, you're an idiot. But
Who says that football's
Hold
a
on.
game of opinion?
You know what?
a
I
moron.
reckon I win. You know why? Because 10 people are going to agree with me. The outfield players. One's going to agree with him, the goalkeepers.
I reckon a lot of defenders might agree with me as well. The only people who aren't going to agree with me, realistically, are strikers because they're idiots.
I take that as a personal insult.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny how I was looking at you when I said it.
Well, I did notice. I was the only one keeping out of this fucking argument as well. Now I'm on your side, Jim. I think you're fucking spot on, mate.
Yeah. No, but I didn't really see any issue because he's moving away from the keeper.
Again, if he hadn't have jumped, in fact, we actually had this conversation. You said that you agreed with me on the whole jumping thing.
Don't you know about?
Yeah. If he hadn't have jumped, I was like, I'm all for it. Absolutely all for it because he has just kicked it into the back of his head. But because he jumped, he's done that. He's deliberately made himself bigger and made it harder to get past.
It would have hit him anyway because I swear it hit him on the arse.
Right.
Yeah, so it would have hit him sort of shoulder
Right.
area.
Here's the thing. We're on about a keeper kicking the ball out of his hands for a goal kick.
Yep.
He shouldn't be kicking it anywhere near that player to start off with anyway.
You
It was
you
a very
can't.
crowded box, so.
Here's the
Yeah,
here's
so
the thing.
should he have been doing that
Here's
move anyway?
the thing. Here's the thing. You are booked if you deliberately attempt to block a goalkeeper's kick
Correct.
out of his
Yeah.
hands. Now, whether the keeper should have been kicking it there or to Mars makes no difference. The fact that he jumped suggests he's trying to stop that ball in some way, shape, or form. Yellow card.
Like,
No, he's going the other way.
like for an example.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, on the same example.
So are you telling me then, if you are walking backwards, right, and then throw your leg back like a horse to kick somebody in the knee, well, it's not a free kick because he should have been going the other way.
No, because
'Cause you were walking
his
backwards.
movement is towards the player. He's moving away from the goalkeeper.
You're walking
he's
the wrong
not
way then, isn't he?
encroachment.
He's walking the wrong way. 'cause
I'm
you're
going
walking
with
backwards.
the word encroachment.
Was it? Yeah.
I'm going with the wording. You cannot intentionally make an action to stop a goalkeeper's kick, which is what a jump is. Regardless of where the ball should have been going, it makes no difference.
You know what
Because
I
you
think?
could be trying to kick the ball out for a corner, miss-hit it, and kick it in your goal. They don't go, oh, well, we'll give a corner because he meant to kick it that way. You don't not get booked because you meant to do something. How many yellow cards are accidental?
Yeah. Well, for example, I'm trying to remember which Leeds player it was got sent off. They tried to take a quick free kick down the line and he stuck his leg out, but he was within the 6 yards and they sent him off. Yellow card, second yellow card, you're off. Doesn't matter.
Declan Rice
That's
springs
right.
to mind.
Not getting out of the way. People, how many times have you seen it where they put a ball down and because they're walking away slowly, they just kick it into the back of them, ref, impediment, yellow card. You're not getting out of the way. You are impeding.
It's a yellow card. He intentionally made a move to stop the goalkeeper's kick. Whether the keeper's kick should have gone towards him or not is completely
Again,
irrelevant.
My belief. If you hadn't
Now,
jumped, I'm
don't
not-
get me wrong. Had he gone to duck and moved his head down and it hit him, carry on, because that's your fault as a goalkeeper for hitting a smaller target. He's literally ducked.
He's tried to get out of the way.
But he didn't. He jumped. Sorry, yellow card. So yeah, you're not right, and I was just enjoying the back and forwards before I thought I'd join in and end it.
That's literally my stance on it. If he hadn't have jumped, if he hadn't have moved, if he had tried to duck, if he just carried on walking and it hit him and went in, I'd have laughed my arse off.
Yeah, because that's happened a few times.
But he jumped. The second you jump...
How many times have you seen a keeper have a look round left, right, chuck the ball on the floor and a striker directly behind him, run around, got the ball and put it in? It's your fault for not looking back.
Yeah.
So if you hit a player that's just walking away, that's doing a Craig David, then that's it. It's your own fault. But he jumped. He made an effort which suggests he was trying to get in the way of the ball. Yellow card.
No.
You're welcome.
I'm not having it.
That's fine. You can not have it all you like, but it
I
should
know.
have been a yellow card. Oh, I quite enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Thank you, boys.
I wasn't quite ready for that.
That was, I don't think anybody was ready for that. Right, now let's talk about game of the day. We had Norwich 3, Portsmouth 5. What a game that was. And definitely the best team won on the day. And that Bishop, what a player he is. What?
Yeah.
You all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the good news is that firmly kind of, well, they're what now, 6 points clear with 3 games to go?
Good.
Yeah, they should be right.
They'll
Good.
Be, they'll be there.
Good.
They should be kicking Southampton's ass next season.
With everyone else.
We'll see.
Can't do that when I'm drinking.
Oh, but no, I'm glad to get a nice feisty derby going.
It won't be
It
feisty
looks
though,
like
will it?
that there's.
When-
It's
when-
one of the nastiest.
What, when they're third and you're 29th, it's not going to be a thing, is it?
It doesn't matter what division it's in. It's probably one of the most fierce,
You reckon they could be
nastiest
losing in
things.
stars?
Who's Southampton? I reckon it's going to be more like Swindon. Didn't they go Premier League? Or what? Oldham were the other ones. They both went Premier League to League 2, didn't they?
Oldham are like lower in conference now.
See what you got to look forward to.
Yeah.
Well, Portsmouth. I'm only joking. I don't give a shit about Portsmouth. But yeah, Portsmouth did win 5-3.
Yeah.
Luton finally, bless their hearts, got a win against Derby.
It just makes things interesting at the bottom.
That really does, because they're on equal points
Yeah, I
now.
would say they're fighting each other, so that was a nice result.
Yeah, so you got Hull. I'd say Oxford are safe. They're 5 points. I don't think there's much trouble, because I can't see Luton, Derby and Hull winning all 3 of their last games. So I don't think Oxford are in it. But for me, the relegated teams now...
Plymouth are, for me...
Plymouth are
unfortunately,
gone.
I think
So
Cardiff
Cardiff,
are gone.
Luton, Derby, Hull are the ones for me that are fighting out relegation
So
right now.
I watched the Cardiff Sheffield United game,
Yeah.
and when they went 1-0 down, it was a little bit hard. You know, it was sort of like they were both in it, but it's kind of happened. And then right at the end, when Cardiff were pushing and that second goal went in, and they're all just looking at each other and blaming each other, and you can see their heads have gone, they're gone. And I don't see, with that sort of headspace where they are, confidence shot, unfortunately. Yes, admittedly, with 3 wins, they would be out of relegation, but I just can't see them getting points. I just can't see it. I think Cardiff are gone.
So, do you want to be confirmed promotion today? Pretty much. I think it is. Well, tomorrow, yeah.
Yes.
Why did you have to think about that?
Because last week he said he didn't want.
No, of course
that-
you want to be promoted straight away. That's just madness.
To be fair, if we beat Stoke and Burnley lose, we're confirmed.
Right, I get that, but
we will move 4 points clear of Burnley, right?
Yeah.
And we will still be 5 points clear
right.
of Sheffield.
Before you go into all that, I would like to remind you that you've played 43 games this season.
Yeah.
Burnley have lost 2.
Yeah.
And you're going, if Burnley lose, I think that's fucking unlikely, the way things are going.
I mean, the game
That's
that I
really
actually
unlikely
watched
that Burnley
on Good Friday, I was watching Carlisle versus Port Vale.
That was supposed to be a good game.
Oh, I mean, Vale top the
Wasn't
league.
expecting that noise to follow that particular game. But there we
Vale
go.
top the league. Carlisle second bottom. Carlisle were all over them.
Yeah.
In the first half, it was Vale hardly had any chances, and Carlisle had a couple of chances, gave them a scare, and then eventually it was a poor pass by the Vale player, and they knocked it through. Great finish, past Amos. Then they fought for a second goal right before half time, fully deserved. And then straight after the break, and they got a third goal, Carlisle. So it looked dead and done, but then they got a goal back on the hour, Vale. Then got another one shortly after, and then it was a constant press then at that point. And then in the 93rd minute, Vale got a penalty to equalise, and he missed it.
That's good.
I mean, Vale are still top of the league. It didn't make too much difference because Bradford had drawn on the Thursday, Doncaster had won, Walsall had drew at that point. So it's still very tight at the top of League Two. But no, definitely had some interest there with especially Vale being local and that. So I would like Vale to get promoted.
Yeah, we both know a Vale fan, and
I know a few.
He's a good lad. Well, I'm thinking of the one that we know jointly, and he's a good lad. So I'd like
Chubbs.
I'd like Chubbs to have something to celebrate. Bless his heart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would like Port Vale to go up.
Yeah.
As much as Martin would be annoyed by it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no,
we'd like it to have something to celebrate.
So that was quite an enjoyable game actually. As it went a bit different because I could pick any game that day because it was all on Sky.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was basically like match choice. So I decided to watch that one.
That's not a bad one to watch. 5 goals and a red card.
Yeah.
Red card was off the pitch.
Yeah, but even so, something to watch though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So can't complain.
Yesterday, Ilkeston Town actually did really well to hold off back till the 78th minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was the floodgates opened.
Yeah.
just a touch.
Yeah.
They went from 78 minutes 0-0 to 4-0.
In the 96th minute, yeah. I mean, nobody can accuse Mac of being on the beach, can they? They literally have clinched the title. It's done and dusted. They're lifting the trophy on the 26th, I believe.
Okay.
Next Saturday.
Next Saturday then.
Yeah. They've got. I'm sure it was next Saturday at home. Let me just have a look at the matches.
It's got to be. There's only 2 games left.
So
Yeah, Saturday the 26th.
we watched the
They're lifting the trophy.
West Ham Southampton game because we needed some comedy. But it was an absolute ball fest.
It was pretty poor.
It was 2 of the worst attacking teams, not defending, but not attacking. It was. I don't know.
Even though there were 27 shots in the game.
Yeah, but
Not many of them were good.
On target or decent.
8.
Yeah, they had 4 apiece on target, but to be fair, out of
Ramsdale
them,
made 2 saves that I can remember.
yeah, he made that double save at the start, didn't he, which was
Yeah,
decent.
Obviously, Suleimana hit the crossbar, but that was obviously an off-target
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
But I generally cannot think of much that happened in that. It was like watching a basketball game where no one can shoot. It was end to end, but there was no
See that?
final product.
No, there was nothing. There was nothing. Right. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go to a quick break, and then we shall come back and continue talking about yesterday's games. Hello and welcome back from the break to the Sunday League Pundit Show. We are going to continue talking about yesterday's fixtures. We'd just finished talking about the ball fest that was West Ham 1, Southampton 1, which made me happy because it got you your 11th point and made Tin Ribs miserable because he wanted to fully abuse you all the way.
I took kids to the park.
Oh, so you didn't even watch it?
No.
Brilliant. So we had Brentford 4, Brighton 2. Brighton got a red card in the 61st minute. Some decent goals in that. Brentford actually played really well. And Bueno was superb. He had an absolute blinder.
Yeah.
Mitoma pulled a good goal back towards the end, but then obviously Norgard scored right at the death just to seal it and give Brighton no hope. But a very, very, very good and entertaining game of football. That was really enjoyed it. And the highlights all look good as well. Very good game. Really good game. And then Buemo got 18 points, by the way, on fantasy football.
Yeah.
Oh, did well. I'm okay because he's in my team.
Yeah.
Palace 0, Bournemouth 0. Red card for Palace after 45 minutes. One of the most boring games I've seen.
All right.
Only seen highlights of it, and even they were dull, and they were the highlights. Jesus, I'm glad I didn't watch 90 minutes of that. Excuse me. Everton 0, City 2. Now, till the 84th minute, that was 0-0. And both teams basically looked the same. You wouldn't have been able to tell one from the other. Everton could have scored a few. City could have scored a couple. City eventually did obviously go on to score 2. But honestly, that could have been either way. Could have gone either way. Bit dull to start with, and obviously a couple of goals at the end just to give it something to lighten it up. Villa 4, Newcastle 1. Now Watkins scored almost immediately. Then Shaw equalised in the first half. And then there was nothing then until the 64th minute. But the game wasn't dull. Because we sat and watched that game. It was a decent game of football. Even at 1-1, either team could have won, could have gone either way. It was all right. And then Maatsen scored a decent goal. Byrne got an own goal. And Onana scored an absolute screamer. All within 11 minutes. And that was it. Game over. Done. So yeah, 4-1. What looked like a massively easy win for Villa, but actually until 65th minute, it could have gone either way. That leaves Newcastle third now, 59 points. Point above City. Villa are still only 2 points behind them, to be fair, in sixth. So they've still got a chance. They've all got a chance at Europe anyway, haven't they? Let's be honest. We've got 5 Champions League spots now. So even though Forest have dropped down to 5th, they're still in the Champions League spot. So it could be a lot worse, couldn't it? Let's be honest. So it's looking like we're going to have more Champions League teams than anybody else. Which can't be a bad thing, can it?
Yeah, because we've got 5 teams, haven't we? No.
Should be
It's
decent.
the top 5.
So today we have Fulham, Chelsea, Ipswich, Arsenal, Man United, Wolves that all kick off in 10 minutes, give or take.
Yeah.
We'll probably stick that on one of the tellies and have a quick watch of that in the background. And then at 4:30 we've got Leicester, Liverpool. I think we all know Liverpool are going to win that. I don't think Leicester are going to pose much of a problem to Liverpool.
Does that concrete Leicester down?
I don't know. We can have a look. I imagine so. Well, it will give them 4 games left.
5.
5 games left, of course it will. 15 points, so it didn't concrete them down, but...
It does. 15 points would be 33 points.
Wolves.
Oh, shit, yeah.
So,
No.
Leicester will be completely gone.
God, the bottom
So
three
if
really
Wolves-
are poor, aren't
So
they?
if Wolves
Considering to the
beat,
rest.
so if Wolves beat Man United,
They're basically all down.
they're pretty much down.
Because
Obviously,
Arsenal might beat Ipswich today.
yeah,
And then
it's
if
just
Wolves
West Ham
win-
in theory. So Ipswich can't be relegated today.
So something I just found interesting, obviously we're going on the whole, what's the lowest team scored professional team since 1980?
This is what we were talking about during the break, by the way. So if you want to know whether it's interesting, it's not.
I've been looking up the diff score.
Mhm.
The Premier League is Derby and
Yeah.
Southampton are the bottom. But it's like even the lowest records for like League 1 and League 2 still like 25 points, 27 points and stuff.
It probably should be because they've got more games.
Yes,
You've got at least 8 more
46,
games.
But still, it's just makes me laugh a little bit that it's like even now, Plymouth have got 40 points and they're down.
I know that's mental.
It's
It's just not been competitive.
no
this
it
year.
But it just shows the step up. When you look at the worst Championship, the worst League 1, and they're still in the 20s. And then you look at the Premier League and it's like 11. That shows a gulf.
And I mean, the team above 17, that's dreadful.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's showing the gulf in the difference between the Championship and the Premiership.
Yeah.
It shows a gap. Because it's clear that even the teams that get relegated from League 2, League 1, Championship, they're still competitive if they're picking up 40 points.
Yeah.
To get 25 points, you've got to have beaten a few teams.
Oh, yeah.
And they're the worst.
It's just not been competitive. I mean, going back to the national... Now, we spoke the other week about the National League and the step up and stuff like that, and we were saying how Radcliffe and Marine, the two teams that went up last season, were struggling. They're actually out the relegation places now.
Both of them?
Yeah.
Are they actually?
Yeah.
I've had a look.
So they have actually turned it round, because we did mention it the other week, and obviously we got that wrong. Because I actually looked at the table and went, oh, we got that wrong, because they're both actually out of the relegation places.
Fought back, have they? Wow, who'd have thought that they got some fight? Fair play to them, though. Because they were really struggling at the start. So from pull it back and survive... Hey.
Well, they might still be... One of them might still be in the battle for it, but they are...
Yeah, but the battle's different than actually going down, though, isn't it? So fair play to them. Because they looked dead and gone not long ago. Like, certainly the first couple of months of the season, they just looked like they were going to get annihilated every week. So to come back from that, you have to take your hats off to them. You're currently looking.
Yeah, so Radcliffe are 18th. They're 11 points outside the relegation zone, so they are safe. And Marine are 15th on 55 points, so they are both safe. As it turns out, they are both safe.
That's incredible considering how they started. So well done to both of them. Fair play.
So they did turn it round towards the end of the season.
Plus, it stands them in good stead for next season as well.
Yeah,
because they must have some really good records recently to have pulled themselves out of that.
And then the battle at the top is between Scunthorpe, Brackley Town, and Kidderminster Harriers. And then there's Chester in that league and Hereford. So Darlington. There's some
names.
There's some names in there that used to beat Scarborough. So you could be playing all these teams next year. Well, not all of them, I imagine.
We will be playing some of them.
A couple of them will get promoted.
We will definitely be playing some of them. That's for damn sure, because we're up.
Chester.
We are the champions.
So yeah.
I've seen Mac win more in the last few years than I have Arsenal. There was no need for that laugh. That was quite offensive. That was offensive. What have you won, eh? Other than relegation? Come on, what have you won in the last few years?
Championship title.
Don't count. You might be getting that again this season.
Might be.
You know, there was an interesting thing the other day, and they were saying, like, Mo Salah's having a great season. And because obviously he's going to, looks like, well, he is staying at Liverpool now.
Yeah, he's just signed another contract on.
And they said that even if he was to lose 10 goals or is 10 goals and assists in a season, that basically just makes him a regular Saka. Because his goal contributions that is just what was used as in the commentary and stuff like that, and they were saying how much of a different level of player he is to one of the next best wingers that is said, and they don't even class Salah as a winger.
So they're comparing a 32-year-old seasoned winger who's been here, there, and everywhere, been ditched by Chelsea. To someone 10 years younger than him, who's only just starting.
Well, they're saying that Salah's not a winger as well.
But he plays on the right wing.
Mm.
That, therefore, makes him a winger, surely.
Yeah.
That's like saying Havertz isn't a striker. But he is at Arsenal because they play him as a striker. Like it or not, he's Arsenal's striker. So you can say he's not a winger.
But he is a different... he has had a very good season.
What are they trying to say Salah is, if he's not a winger?
I think they're just trying to say he's one of the best forwards out there at the moment. But you know what? At the start of the season, it was like, he's on Ballon d'Or form, but you know what? He won't get it now. He won't get it because he's not won a Champions League. He won't get anything. The only way he's got a chance of winning it is if he goes and wins Africa Cup of Nations.
Well, like I say, I sent you that thing in the chat earlier. Score 90 have put up the current standings for the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Yeah, three Barcelona players are first.
Yeah, 3 Barcelona players. You know who's not in there?
Vinny.
He's not going to be though, is he?
Or Mbappe. Or anyone from Real Madrid.
Are they pulled out? Are they not allowed to be in it? No.
Don't know, but it's basically Rafinha, Pedri, Yamal, Salah and Dembele.
Not even Lewandowski.
Not even Lewandowski.
Sad, isn't it, really? And is that, like, I know they've gone through to the next round of the Champions League, right? But they did it on a 3-1 loss, Barcelona.
So, yeah, but
and I know they're kicking ass in their league.
Okay, so
but it's not a great division.
But it's all done on different stats. So, was it yesterday? When was it Barcelona last played? Hold on, bear with me 2 seconds. Last night, Rafinha scored 2 goals to help Barcelona beat Celta Vigo 4-3. The second goal was his 60th goal contribution for club and country this year.
I realise that you're trying to make that sound good. I'm going to counter that with I would put money on Ipswich, Leicester and Southampton surviving that league if they moved over there.
Yeah.
That's the level that we're talking that they're scoring 60 goals against.
No.
So you're telling me...
And country.
Yeah. But what you're telling me is that when he's playing divisional football... Yeah,
but to be fair, he does play for Brazil and they play teams like Panama and stuff like that.
Pointless. So what you're telling me is when...
Panama listeners.
Sorry. I just want to apologise to everybody that England play, like Malta.
We don't even do international football week.
Harry Kane, he's so good. He scores 42 goals against Malta.
I'm the one that stands up and says Kane's not that good.
My point is it doesn't matter what league you're in. 60 goal contributions for the whole season is very impressive.
I would disagree. I think when you're an international footballer and you're playing pub sides...
Well, no one else has done it this season.
Yeah, but
no one else is playing Celta Vigo.
You could say that Premier League, though, couldn't you?
Harry Kane's not playing Celta Vigo.
But my point stands is there are still plenty of players out there who are playing in these farmers' leagues that are getting nowhere near those standards. You could say that about Lewandowski. You just go, oh, Lewandowski's not in there. No. Who's he playing for? Who's he playing against? He's not getting those numbers. The numbers are impressive. It doesn't matter.
Because he's stealing all the goals, that's why.
It doesn't matter, because you look at the Premier League, is it competitive? Because Liverpool have what? They've lost 2 games or something like that.
It's not competitive, the Premier League, no.
You've got 2 teams that haven't even got 20 points this season in the Premier League.
And they'd still survive in that
And relegation is pretty much confirmed.
Has Salah got 60 goal contributions? No! So the whole
No, because his teammates are not as good as the teammates that he's got at Barcelona.
But the point's that...
Plus, Salah and Liverpool are playing a better standard of team than Barcelona when they're playing in Spain. They're playing pub teams. It'd be like us lot on a Friday going up against Barcelona. Oh, he scored 6 goals. Well, he must be world class then. Because he scored 6 past us who are 40 odd and overweight. And I don't see the comparison. I understand what you're saying, and 60 goal contributions is a lot. I'm not saying it isn't. But let's put some context on it. He's playing pub goers. That's like saying, well, we must be really good because he scored 7 goals in an international game. Who were they playing? Gibraltar. Do you know what I mean? No offence to Gibraltar, but you're not going to stop Brazil scoring 6 or 7 goals. It doesn't compute for me, that. I don't see how that is a stat that he could win best player in the world.
Salah might have 60 goal contributions.
He has got 60.
Unfortunately, World Cup
What on earth is that?
It's cat feeder, I think.
Yeah.
The is
That
World
sounds like
Cup
a-
qualifying
that sounds like
for
one hungry
Egypt.
man right there.
World Cup qualifying starts 23 to 25. So, but he's got 61 goal contributions.
Just checking. Hold on. Total this moment is, why is it not 18 assists and 27 goals. I'm not the best mathematician, but that's not 60.
It's just under 40.
It depends on where you were looking, because
It's 45.
there's more. You looked at Premier League because there's the EFL Cup as well, because it was all separated. So he scored 27 goals in the Premier League, 18 assists, which is 45. He scored 2 goals in the EFL Cup and 1 assist, which takes him up to 48. In the Champions League, he's got another 7 goals and assists. That takes him up 55, and then he's got his Egypt goals, which is 6 goals and 3 assists as well, which takes him above 60. So
There you go.
there you go.
Just double checking over. Yeah. So this doesn't have La Liga. Not La Liga. Cool.
But
Don't
yeah.
know what you're on.
Hot.
Pass then. I'm not sure, mate.
I don't know. But yeah, I get what you're saying, but I still think Rafinha's stats are very impressive, and I think he deserves to be up there.
They are.
Definitely.
But my stats were pretty decent for when I played football in Sunday League.
Yeah.
Because of who I was playing against. Put me up against decent opposition and that wouldn't have been the case.
Well, once Barcelona lift the Champions League trophy after smashing your shit team,
Yeah, because we're going to get that far.
then we can talk about opposition.
We've got to get past Pizzica first.
You'll get past PSG.
I hope
You
so.
said that with a massive amount of
No,
confidence.
I need to. I need this Arteta and friends
Yeah.
to stay on
You
as
can-
long as
I
possible.
mean, to be fair,
Stop.
To be fair, I would actually sacrifice Rafinha's Ballon d'Or to see Arteta lift the Champions League.
It would be amazing.
I would love to watch Arsenal lift the Champions League. I would then cry for a month because Arteta would be given a 10-year.
You know what? You know what I might do? Might buy if they win the Champions League for you to wear on the pod Arteta and friends T-shirt.
Oh, no. We wait till
We
that
will
moment
create-
when Arteta's lifting the Champions League trophy. We get that picture put onto a T-shirt.
With like with like Jesus on there, Marino. We'll put Zinchenko on there, and then we'll put like on the and then at the front we'll have like some previous fans, like have Shamak there and Adebayor
We
and
can have a banner.
Adebayor,
We
he
can put a
says.
banner behind him that says
Yeah.
Arteta for life.
yeah.
I
You're
don't
gonna
think-
wear this
I
T-shirt.
don't think either of you are funny. If
You know, if
Listen-
they win the Champions League,
listen
this
to me.
T-shirt is happening, and
Listen-
after it happens, you are wearing that T-shirt on this pod
listen to me now,
all next season.
recorded. If Arsenal win the Champions League,
You will wear that
If
T-shirt.
Arsenal win the Champions League, I will wear whatever you ask me to wear.
Okay, deal.
Yeah. As long as I'm wearing something. Just
Yeah,
put
yeah.
some boundaries
No.
in place.
No.
No.
Nobody wants to see that.
No, it does. Yeah, the T-shirt is definitely going to get made.
Might have to get 2 and like do one as like a giveaway, and you have to like give it away to somebody, another friend.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I
Please.
don't think we're going to win it.
Please.
So. I don't
Like
think
I
we're
said, as much
going to win it.
as
So
I
I
want
don't
to see
see any
Rafinha
problem.
lift the Ballon d'Or,
That moment of Arteta and friends
Arteta
will
lifting
live
the
on
Champions League.
forever.
the emotional torture for Stretch. I'm just like, and how good this
I
podcast
mean,
will be going forward.
I'm okay. Arsenal winning the Champions League. I am just
I know you
concerned
are.
that they're going to give him a 10-year contract once he's won it, and then we've got 10 years of this dog shit that we've put up with for the
What,
last
not
5
winning
years.
anything else
Well, the fact is
ever again?
I'm sick of saying it on Facebook. He threw away an 8-point lead 2 years ago. He then threw away the title last year, and we haven't been past the fourth round of the FA Cup in 5 years. That is not a good manager.
And Man City have fallen apart, and you could have been competitive this year,
Yeah.
but you've not.
Should have been. Not could have been. Should have been competitive this year. But because of the manager and choices he makes, when you are 7-1 up in any cup competition, why do you play your first team virtually the game after? Why did Odegaard play in that game? Declan Rice, Saka. Why? Why? There was no fucking reason for any of them to put the boots on. Why did we not try that young kid that's actually a striker in our under-18s? Butler. Why didn't we put Butler on the pitch? Why? 7-1 up. Arteta's a fucking idiot.
All you needed was to have some of them players on the bench. Heaven forbid, like at half time, you go 4-0 down or something, and it's like a complete collapse. But you'd like to think at 7-1 up, your under 21s team should be pretty much competitive enough to not lose
6-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. We could have given the young striker a go. We could have given some of the other players a go. And not played all the... I don't understand.
And you're not even talking entirely under 21s either, because you are going to play your players like Tierney, who needs minutes, and Zinchenko that needs minutes, etc.
I wouldn't give Zinchenko anything that wasn't a plane ticket out of London. But Tierney, I agree, he would have played. Kivior probably would have gone on as well, because obviously Gabriel wasn't injured then. You know, some of the understudies don't play enough. I'd have started Trossard, so you wouldn't have needed players to step into them sort of positions. Maybe give Marino a game in midfield where he's meant to be, Jorginho and stuff like that. So it wouldn't have been entirely under 21s, but honestly, it's just stupid. I get that you want to go through, but you're 7-1 up. Come on, just stop being a bellend.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense. You all right over there, Tin Ribs?
Yeah.
Pissing about. Is that you that keeps sending pictures to?
Might be, but I'm also trying to find a t-shirt company that will do what I want them to do.
I wondered why he was googling on his phone over there.
And I'm also planning like a banner that you've got to hold up saying Arteta for life.
Yeah.
It's
gonna be amazing.
I hope they spell it and it says Arteta causes strife. Don't worry about it. We'll go for a break now. And then we'll go on and we'll come back and do a so we shall see you very shortly for the podcast.
Oh.
Oh! Jesus Christ!
Oh, fuck.
Oh! I think I'm going dead.
That would be loud. Oh, jeez.
That's fucking brilliant. We're recording. How long has that been going?
I don't know.
A minute.
Excellent.
That's
brilliant.
absolutely super.
That's got to go in.
I don't know if it caught the noise.
Oh,
or if it's just us
let's
laughing
hope
at
so.
Tin Ribs. You alright there, mate?
Yeah, my ears are still ringing.
Shall I try it again?
No!
Oh, God. Sorry.
Yeah.
There was a squeak come from the chair and
And we're back.
it's a lot louder during the headphones than it through the headphones than it is for us. Anyway. Hello and welcome to part 3 of the Sunday League Pundit Show, the bit where we don't talk football, we talk everything else, which this week includes...
Golf.
Golf indeed. So let's talk about the golf
So we left
between the
here.
two of you.
So we left here, and I got home and thought, I'm going to watch the Masters because Rory McIlroy was in front at that point in time, with Bryson DeChambeau in front of him.
Yes.
Or behind him, whatever way round it was. So Rory started off with a double bogey, like he just wanted to mess it up again, like he didn't want to win the Masters at all. Then he started playing okay during front nine. Didn't really do anything wrong after that. Got 3 more birdies on that one to go in -1. And then followed up with birdie. But then on the 11th, he decided to hit a bogey. And then on the 13th, decided to hit another double bogey. Went into a water. Bit of a calamity. And then hit another bogey after that on the 14th. Now, at this point, Bryson's not playing too well either. He's hit some shots into water, and Rory did a couple shots where Bryson hit one in the water, and then Rory hit a similar shot, but it caught the edge. So it was like, okay, Rory's luck's in today. And for a while, he had a 4-shot lead. But while all this is going on, Justin Rose is having the game of his life while this is going on. Okay. And he's just hitting birdie after birdie. So he goes round in, I think he got 10 birdies on the day. Ended up shooting 66. Rory then hits a shot on the 15th that is absolutely insane. You may have seen that clip.
I've seen the clip, yeah.
Because obviously he posted, this is what clubs should do, as it curls round and goes round towards it, and it's absolutely incredible. And then at that point you're thinking, this could be his day, but he misses the eagle chance and he gets a birdie on that hole. Then he maintains a par, hits a birdie on the 17th. So at that point you're thinking, okay, maybe he's in. Justin Rose at this point is sank a long putt to finish the round on 66. So
okay.
Rory goes on to the 18th and basically bogeys the 18th, which then starts a playoff where you think he's done, he's messed it up. But at this point you've got 2 Brits in there. Rory plays a brilliant hole on the 18th and he ends up winning it. I thought Justin Rose played a little bit of class because basically he finished his round. He missed his putt and then sank it after, and then moved out the way to one side. And then Rory, because his approach shot was pretty close, and he sank it. And you just saw all the emotion. The crowd were behind him, and they were saying like, when Tiger Woods won his, and like the emotion of it at Augusta, you'd never see anything like that again. It was big moment, really. Watching it was brilliant excitement on there. I'm really pleased that I watched it. Not
as I understand excitement.
You've never really given it a go. You've said you find golf boring, but you need to. The Masters is different.
It's not.
We did say
golf.
I know, but you like golf.
I like playing golf.
Yeah, but there's
like,
two that I like.
Batting when someone's playing cricket. I couldn't watch it for the life of me.
Yeah, but no, it was brilliant, and he's like the first European to complete the Grand Slam, and it's took him a long time for him to do it.
Didn't he hit the scene quite young, Rory McIlroy?
Yeah. So, and he'd done it years ago, and it was the one thing he had left, and he'd never really been involved as much. So I'm pleased that he won it this year. Feel sorry for Justin Rose because he's come second 3 times now in the Masters, and it's the second time he's lost in a playoff as well, because he lost to Sergio Garcia quite a while ago, I think it was. I can't remember the year. Whatever year Garcia won it. But no, it was I really enjoyed it as a watch. And
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
a good couple hours well spent.
I don't dispute that people are going to enjoy watching
Yeah, I'd
it
rather-
and they're gonna get into it, but for me,
I'd rather play.
personally- Did you watch the Masters, Tim?
No. I followed. So I kind of flicked it in and out of it, but no, I didn't.
So like, I love playing golf. I really enjoy going with you guys, going to a course,
Yeah.
getting 18 holes done, chilling, having a chat,
Yeah.
playing awful golf. I really
Yeah.
like it, but just watching people that are nigh on perfect at it, just doesn't. No, I'm not for it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't appeal.
I mean,
to me.
I can't watch it all the time. Like, there's only two that I watch, and that's one is the Masters, and two is the Ryder Cup.
I watched quite a lot of golf, but I just didn't watch the Masters. I had work and I was tired, and
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, just not my thing. I can't watch it. It's just boring to me. Really, really boring.
And
Let's just
then
go back.
we had. Then another thing that happened, I noticed Paddy the Baddy had won again.
Won
In
what?
UFC beat Michael Chandler, I think it was. So
Has he won a
he's-
title though? What's he
I
won?
don't think he's won any titles yet, Paddy, but his opponents are getting more recognised.
I like Paddy the Paddy. Don't get me wrong.
I'm surprised you
He's
like
great.
Paddy the Baddy.
I like because he's Scouse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's
I
proper like
There's
Scouse
just-
as well.
Yeah, but there's something about him that I just really like.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is, but there's something about Paddy the Baddy I absolutely love. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm good with
But
Paddy.
I'm pretty sure he's not far off a title fight now because, like I say, he's winning and he's
he's a bloody
getting
good
more.
fighter, though, isn't he?
Yeah. So
Very
surely
good
he's getting a shot at some point soon.
You would hope so. You would hope so. You see, I think I like him because he just seems like such a cool guy, like such a relaxed, chilled out guy. Because I've seen him in a few things like.
But sometimes seems like a bit of a cocky dickhead as well.
I expect that from fighters.
Yeah.
If you go into a ring and you're not cocky,
Yeah.
you're doing the wrong job.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be full of bravado and cockiness if you're going to step into
Yeah.
a ring. Any sort of ring. Boxing, MMA, cage fighting, whatever it is that you're... Like, even wrestling. I mean, we all know it's scripted, but you know, some of the stuff they do, it's going to hurt.
I mean,
so
you
you've
look
got
at
the
it
headspace to go
and
into
like it's when you look at wrestling, is it fake? No, it's not fake. It's scripted.
When
It's
you're dropping 10
scripted,
foot
you
onto
know.
a metal table, you can't fake that. You either
Yeah.
hit the table or you don't.
Are
There's
you
nothing fake
are
about
you
it,
being
but
hit by a
it's-
chair? Yes. Are you being put through a table? Yes. Does the table break more easily than a regular table? Yes.
It's still
But
gonna
you're
hurt.
still going to get put through a table, and
Yeah,
you
of course.
see them get cut or etc. Like sometimes they may blade and they do cut it themselves, but sometimes they just don't.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, anybody that's going to step into any cage instantly gains respect from me anyway, because it's a crazy thing to want to do. Like, I can't get my head around wanting to just go and brutalise another human being and allow them to brutalise you and be okay with it. It just doesn't sit well with me, that, you know, punching somebody in the face and wanting to be punched in the face regularly.
I saw an interview with it was Tony Bellew the other day when the whole David Hay thing kicked off and stuff, and he said, I'm going to mouth off at him and stuff like that while he was on the commentary and like instigating stuff. And he said he was so thankful that day that the security guards did their job to keep them separated, because he knew that he'd get knocked out if David Hay hit him with no gloves on. He said he's more than happy to
Yeah. I've
fight
seen
with
that
gloves
interview.
on, but he says that in
I've
a
seen
real
that
world,
interview.
not wearing gloves, David Hay knocks him the fuck out.
Yeah,
Which
but
I
that's
thought
it.
was quite funny, and and the way he just said it, I'm glad the security guards did their job that day to keep us separated,
I think
because
the
I'd have
thing
been
is
in
is
trouble.
Fighters know, don't they? Fighters know when somebody is fucking hard, like when somebody can hit you and they can hurt you.
Yeah,
And I think that you know, as long as you show that sort of respect to somebody, then you should be all right. And Bellew again, Scouser, but I quite like him because he just seems quite chilled. Like, I've seen a lot of interviews with him since he retired. He just seems really cool and chilled, and
Yeah, I love that.
yeah, he just seems like really easygoing, and I just quite like him really.
big one next week though. Big fight next week.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely going to be watching it. Ben versus Eubank.
Yeah.
I think they're both arseholes. I'll say it right here and I think they're both arseholes.
Why?
Because they're just arrogant for the sake of being arrogant. They're both riding on the dad's coattails. I don't think either one of them are amazing boxers. I haven't seen all the fights, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say I've seen them all. But I've seen a couple from each. All that whole thing with the estrogen and the egg. And God, grow the fuck up. You're both in your 30s and you're both boxers. Like, do we have to be acting like we're 3?
They're just bringing some excitement, some anticipation into a fight.
Excitement, is it? Because that's what made me give up on it. I'm like, I'm not watching that shit. I'm not going to go watch a boxing match and see them there egging each other for the fucking first 3 rounds.
It's
just, oh man,
it's got me interested.
Nah. It got me
I'm
less
interested in it.
I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll go to bed. I'll go to sleep. I'll wake up in the morning and hopefully not find out who's won. Because I just don't give a shit. Just don't care one
I
way or
bet
the other.
you, as you'll be here with him, you'll probably end up watching it.
Guarantee I won't. Told you, I'll go to bed. I'll probably be at work early the next day.
On Sunday.
I'll make sure I'm at work on that Sunday.
Yeah.
Can't be just boring, man, honestly. It's not for me.
We'll be here next week and he'll go, what a fight that was. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I don't think that's going to be a thing. I'll be honest with you. But yeah, not watching it. Not interested. Yeah. He'll sit and watch it. It's fine.
Yeah.
I won't. Not for me.
No.
Nah, boring. What are you updating us on anyway? What have you watched that's not football this week?
Nothing.
Oh. On that note.
I'm just thinking to myself, what have I done this week? And I'm like, not much.
You haven't done much at all.
Not really.
I played football on Friday, if that counts.
No, I didn't.
No, I said I played football on Friday, if that counts.
Well, the way you worded it was hardly playing.
Oh, mate, we got annihilated. We were a man down. Right, so we were playing with a man less. And then one of our players, after 3 minutes, pulled his hamstring, but carried on playing. So we didn't swap one from the other side to make it even. We stayed basically then 2 men down. And he stayed on till we finished as well.
And everybody's favourite striker, my personal favourite, who does fuck all, did fuck all and stood on the halfway line doing fuck all.
And a guy who normally plays right back went and stood up top at right wing.
Yeah. So basically, you had a centre circle nobody wanted to go into because it smelled bad.
Yeah, so now I know who the striker is. It was who I thought, so I'm right.
That's shocking that's what gave it away that you knew who it was.
I knew who it was anyway, but that really gave it away.
And the right back identifying lug did nothing, so apparently Stretch just ran around defence crying because no one else was
me and Josh Fellows just moaning at the back because we were on our own.
You played at the back?
We played centre back with Josh Fellows.
Oh, right.
No one else there.
Oh.
So yeah, we got beat 5-1, I think it was in the end.
Been a while since I played football.
It's
been a long while. Well, broken finger's not been for a reason. You've not been because you're lazy.
It's not laziness.
Laziness.
I've had kids.
Lazy. Sounds like an excuse to me.
That sounds like...
To be fair, I forgot that last week I didn't mention the fact that I didn't go football last week because I went to Paul Smith last week.
Oh, now he brings that up. Oh, right.
I completely forgot about that when I was going through it.
How was that?
How was that?
It was crap, I can tell you already.
Well, when you go on about it, so he came on, he did his bit where he's talking to a crowd and that sort of stuff for like 20 minutes. You know, that's funny and stuff. And then the support act comes on, he was good. Danny Mac, that is, who's on Instagram. So he was quite funny because he was going on about type 1 and type 2 like illnesses and stuff and like you know, and he was like, I'm type 2 ADHD or something like that. I wasn't born with it. I'm like, it's my own issues kind of thinking like, and he goes, it's like if you're diabetic, type 1 means you're born with it, type 2 it means put the fucking cake down. So my mate's in hysterics because obviously I'm a type 2 diabetic, so it's kind of like, but it's more funny the fact that I'm in that situation where it's like, yeah, you've done it to yourself. You have to put the cake down.
Yeah.
And then I came on, and he is a funny guy, Paul Smith and stuff like that. Is he as funny as the TikTok clips and everything? Probably not.
I could have told you that before you went.
Well, I probably half knew that anyway.
In fact, I did tell you that before you went.
Slightly underwhelming. He kind of goes on and on and on about certain things, and like I say, it is funny parts, but is he anywhere near Lee Evans' standard? Absolutely not.
Who is? Like, you've literally picked the fucking king of kings when it comes to comedy there.
That's because he's the best one I've ever seen.
I mean, you're comparing him to Lee Evans, man. Jesus. That's like going to watch Sunday League and comparing him to fucking Real Madrid.
I probably, in comparison, I'm probably saying Paul Smith's probably like one of the worst that I've seen, when I'm thinking that I've seen Lee Evans, I've seen Michael McIntyre, I've seen John Bishop. I'm even going to throw Jack Whitehall in there.
I don't think much of McIntyre. Jack Whitehall can be funny.
Yeah.
Lee Evans is a god when it comes to comedy. Who else have I seen? Baddiel. Baddiel. Actually, very funny. Very funny stand-up. Me and Spen went to watch David Baddiel. Very
one of the ones that I always wanted to see. I wanted to see Mickey Flanagan.
I can see him being quite irritating over a long period. I think his voice would be like, nah, fucking short. Jimmy Carr I quite like, but I like him interacting with the audience more than his actual material.
His interaction.
See, it makes you think, like, when you see clips of, like, Matt Rife on TikTok and stuff, who I think is absolutely hilarious, but would his show actually be as good?
Have you ever watched the full show of his on Netflix?
No.
I've sit through all of them, and he's fucking brilliant.
He is very funny.
He's brilliant. Matt Rife is
so
superb.
He actually is.
But for me, Lee Evans is comedy god.
Yeah.
He's just the best. Next for me, Kevin Bridges. Fucking hilarious. Yeah. Kevin Bridges is so funny. So funny. You want to watch some of his shows.
I'm
guy's
quite
brilliant.
liking Ralphie May at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go and watch him.
I mean, Lee Evans is the best.
He's God.
Ever.
Absolute God.
And to be fair, if I was going to rank the second one, I'd probably say it would be Jack Whitehall. I thought the show that he did was hilarious. Of the ones that I've been to, that is the one. I went to Sheffield to see him, and it was absolutely brilliant.
Kevin Bridges would definitely be my second right now. And then Jimmy Carr next.
No, I'm not saying like he's funny. I'm saying the funniest scene. I've not seen Kevin Bridges. I've only seen clips or something on TV. Actually going can be different because it's like you buy John Bishop. When we went to John Bishop, it was like, and it was in Liverpool, so it's different. But like when I bought his DVD of the same show, it's different because.
Of course it is, yeah.
Because depending what venue it's in, depends on how it is. Like, I imagine, like, John Bishop going to Manchester is probably funnier than John Bishop in Liverpool. Because the crowd are going to give him more shit in Manchester than they are Liverpool. But something happened at Liverpool where somebody got ill. They were okay or whatever, but, like, got seen to him by paramedics and stuff like that. And because he came back and it was okay, he ripped the piss out of him.
As he should.
As he should. So that's not going to happen in every show.
Yeah, that's true. The one that I went to watch was Lee Evans' Big Tour in 2008.
Yeah.
And we went to watch him in Manchester. The O2, I believe. The O2 in Manchester.
Yeah.
Not the O2. What was it now? The MEN.
Yeah, the Evening News Arena.
The MEN, sorry. O2's
two in there in Manchester. But
so we went to watch him the MEN Arena in Manchester. And it was slightly different to the DVD that had come out, which obviously wasn't. That was recorded at O2. That's where I got O2 from with Victor. So that was recorded at the O2. But we went to watch in Manchester, and it was ever so slightly different. But obviously the crowd reacts differently to certain things. And
the best Lee Evans one was when we went to see him in Stafford in that little...
we went to watch a warm-up gig for the one after Big, I believe. It's like 2012 or something, 2011. It was a little bit later, I think. And he comes out just wearing jeans and a shirt, doesn't he? And he's got bits of paper with him because it's just a warm-up gig.
Yeah.
And he's testing new material. The best part, some of his new material.
There was certain.
He did it just to.
I'm pretty sure some of the jokes that he came out with were just to see what the reaction would be because he got no intention of putting them anywhere near his show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one about Elton John. One about Katie Price.
That's the one that springs to mind. Is the one
the
about
Katie Price
one.
The Katie Price one is straight to mind. So he basically said, I went to a book signing the other day. I bought Katie Price's book. I thought, well, if I'm paying this much money, she might as well actually write something in it.
Harsh.
Yeah.
And then everyone started laughing. He's going, no, I can't. And as he went to put it in the...
Everyone's booing.
Everyone's booing. He's going, oh, you lot are evil.
He went, you lot are evil. We're all booing and booing. And then he sort of lifted it back up and we're all cheering. He went, I'll get sued. He's going.
I can't remember what the Elton John one was, but that was quite funny as well.
Yeah. He'd got... And there was some that you'd like that you just knew were never going to go into a show.
Wow.
It's just so you knew that he'd got...
other material.
Them jokes in him. Them cruel... sort of bullying jokes.
I went Birmingham to see Lee Evans, and it was his last tour, so it was one of his last shows. You know, I'd booked it 2 years prior. That's how demanding he was.
Yeah.
So the first time I ever saw Lee Evans was on Channel 4, and it was live at West End. So obviously... that's probably when he got big, really.
One of his early ones.
Where obviously the end was Bohemian Rhapsody, his bit. Now, he'd done his show. It was brilliant. It was over. He'd come out. He'd done his encore song and stuff like that. He went off, and then a minute later he come back out and did Bohemian Rhapsody.
Brilliant.
Again, which is kind of like the secret part.
I think that's what sort of...
And people had left.
With him.
And people had left at this point because obviously he'd done his first encore, and then you don't know that he was
coming out again.
Going to come out again and do this.
Yeah, I mean he's so talented in so many ways. Even musically talented,
because he kind of come out and said,
"It's just brilliant."
Because he did come out and go, "Please don't tell anybody that I'm doing this." Because I'm trying to keep this secret from every show so nobody knows that it's coming. Because everybody wants me to do this.
I bet he still gets asked for that now. I bet he still get asked to do that now.
So
the thing for me is, I've been quite fortunate. I've seen a lot of live shows, but it's like when you start talking about great comedian stuff, I literally think, all the ones I wish I could see are dead. Literally, my top three would be Ralphie May, not in any particular order, George Carlin, and Richard Pryor.
Okay.
Those three, if you could resurrect like comedians or like just anyone from like a wish list of go back to time, those are the three that I would want.
you could even like throw Tommy Cooper.
Just not my sort of comedy. Not my sort of comedy. We've been having a lot of conversations like that lately because we're on about comedy films.
Yeah.
And like now, our personalities and our sense of humour are actually very, very similar when we bounce off each other. Fucking hell. It's definitely not when it comes to movies.
Yeah.
We're nowhere. We are miles apart when it comes to comedy movies. Because he'll name all these, he'll reel off films. This is great, this is great, this is great. And I'm like, dog shit. Not at all funny.
Can't name some then.
What, Napoleon Dynamite's the first one that springs to mind. Absolute dog shit.
Never even heard of it.
So,
good.
Okay.
Don't.
So the film I was trying to find today, which this is another reason I hate streaming and I like having hard copies of things. Don't Be a Menace to South Central's Drinking Your Juice in the Hood, which is an old Wayne's Brothers movie.
I've never heard of it till this morning.
It's brilliant. Just 1 second. Yeah, that's what you mean. That's what we're going to do.
We've only got 2-3 minutes.
So that's my little boy right there. But it's like we were talking about different comedies, and then I mentioned Monty Python, like some of the, and he's like, never watched it, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's not my thing. It's never been a go-to for me.
But going on how Stretch is, Life of Brian is literally like a go-to for him, and he's like, I've never watched it, never even bothered looking at it, never thought about it.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Staple diet of British
I'll
comedy.
give it a go.
So, what were your go-to ones then?
Mark, I didn't name any.
You didn't name any.
I didn't name
Oh,
any.
you did. I was just
But
intrigued.
I like stuff
Your
that's...
bet just went to top
Why?
because Saka's off.
For
Yeah, but I've got
Nuaneri.
Super Sub. So if Nuaneri scores, then it'll go on anyway. So it's fine. Yeah, I didn't name any, but we were going through...
you know what's more annoying is the fact that it's the 56th minute, which means that he doesn't get his clean sheet points because you have to play 60 minutes.
I'm so sorry, but we need to rest him. He did have his Achilles stamped on in the first half, so he probably does need a rest, to be fair to him.
I think he got more hurt with the chances that he missed.
We got more hurt with the chances that he missed, that's for
But yeah.
sure. Yeah. All right. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll wrap it up at Tin Rib's awful taste in comedic films, and we shall see everybody next week.